Hey, it's Carl. You know, one of the easiest ways to make your videos look more professional is by adding what are called lower thirds. It's just like your name and your job title or something like that. So let's go over how to do that in Adobe After Effects right now, okay? Here we are in After Effects. I know for me, early on it was scary, but let's, walk through it together. It's gonna be fine. So we're gonna go to Composition, New Composition. We're gonna call this New Comp. That sounds cool. Leave the width and height the same. Frame rate we're not gonna touch for this example. Resolution full. I like my lower thirds to be about 7 seconds long. So then I'm gonna leave the background color, hit OK. And now I'm going to go to Layer, New, Shape Layer, and I'm just gonna create like a little box that I can put my name in. So that's a good first shape. I'm gonna do one more, another shape layer, and I'll make this one a little bit smaller, but I wanna change the color. I'm gonna go to the fill, and I'll change it to a hot purple. Bam. Okay, and the next thing I want to do is put my name in. So I'm going to go to this T tool up here, the text tool. I'm just going to highlight that first green box. I'm going to go over here. I like that Optima. This is where you can adjust the size, things like that. I'm just going to write my name, Carl Grashit. And I might position that a little bit more in the center. And then I'm going to go to the T tool again, and then just put a little bit more about me. Super nice guy. I'll click on the select and then just position that in the center again. And as I said, I like my lower thirds to be about 7 seconds long in total. I think they should animate on by about half a second. So I'm just going to create keyframes here for these two shape layers. I'm going to select both of them and then just hit the P key that brings up position. And I'm going to choose this keyframe stopwatch here. And then I'm going to go drag this cursor to 0 and move these over off screen. So now if I click and watch, they both come on together. Now that's a little bit too perfect, so what I'm gonna do is take this bottom shape layer, I'm gonna select that and then just move the beginning a little bit further apart and then move the ending a little bit sooner so it looks a little bit like this. That's better, but I want to turn on motion blur so it looks nicer. And I'm also going to select all these keyframes with my mouse and then right click and go to Keyframe Assistant, Easy Ease. It just makes it look a little bit more slick when it's coming on. Watch this. Yeah, great. But as you can see, the text isn't animating on with the boxes. So I'm just going to go to the part of the timeline where it's already finished animating, and then I'm just going to enable a motion blur on 2 of the text tracks here. And I want Carl Grashit, my name, to be associated with shape layer 1, so I'm going to go to this pick whip. And then I'm going to apply it to shape layer 1, and then the same with the other layer to shape layer 2. And basically that just means that whatever these boxes do, the text layers are going to do as well. So for our purposes, it's going to animate on when we want it to. And I think that looks pretty damn slick. Slick. That's great, and we could stop there, but I want to reverse it. So I'm going to select all of these. I'm going to right click and go to pre-compose. Just call this New Composition, pre-comp. Very good. I'm gonna open a new comp, hit OK, go over to it, and as you can see, there it is. It's kind of like a nesting effect. It just takes all of those things and merges them into one. And I want this to start animating backwards at about 3.5 seconds. So I'm gonna move the cursor there, and then I'm gonna go to Edit, make sure that this layer is selected, go to Split Layer, and I'm gonna delete that top one. Now I'm gonna select the one that remains, Command D to duplicate it, and then I'm going to drag this over to 3.5 seconds. Now basically I've just done the same thing here twice, but now I'm going to right click on this bottom one and go over to time reverse layer, and then watch what happens. Oh, it animates off. Boom. Instantly that makes your videos better. Instantly. And now I'm going to export it. Export, add to render queue. The last thing that's critical here is you want to make sure you enable transparency, so I'm going to click on lossless and then go under channels, RGB plus alpha, and that'll make sure that the background color isn't part of the final output, because that's not what we want. We want this lower third to go over any sort of video that we have. Here you can select what you want to call it and where you want it saved on your computer, and then you can just hit render. And that special sound means that you're done. And I gotta say, yours looks pretty great. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. And just for your own information, I feel like it's helpful to open up the program and follow along that way. But this is meant to be very beginner friendly. Let me know if you felt it was too hard, but I appreciate you and thanks for watching. Have a great holiday.